On hand tonight, probably the biggest crowd of the tournament so far. As Staten bounces it down to Tony Malone, his shot swatted away by Alford. Donnell Davis on the near side, thought about the three, but will pass off and get it to Alford. Valley Forge now with a sizable lead will slow things down, spread things out as some contact inside. And an offensive foul called on Donnell Davis. So he's elbowed. I thought the contact was away from him. I thought it was a Valley Forge foul, but I didn't think it was on him.
Looked like Harris was a little closer to that epicenter there, but Davis gets the foul instead.
Steve Sims back in for the Patriots. Patriots will go about 8 deep, 9 deep. About 9's all CBC has on their team. As a wraparound pass from Kohler intended to Malone was off the mark. Charles Staten picked it up. He shoots a 15-footer. No good. And then in transition, Mason Horsley back on defense to steal it away. He takes it coast to coast, and another shot swatted away by Alford. Kruger back in for Staten. 6:09 left. Opening half, 37-20. Patriots leading by 17. Kohler on the inbound play. Powers it up nicely.
Blocked there by Alford, but the officials weren't buying it.
13 for Kohler. 37-22. Now out front, Alford will drive and pass to Kirk Hansen.
Well, the official, Rod Taylor, was out there. It must be who he saw.
In transition, a foul called on Steve Sims. That's his first.
Every time I see that, I think of maybe James Worthy in about 1982 in the national championship game, doing something like that for North Carolina.
Stum back in as Monroe set to shoot. Spartans will shoot free throws from here on out, as that was the 7th team foul for Valley Forge. Left side Sims. He was open. Instead, he passes off to Alford, and Alford knocks down another three ball, his second of the game. Lead up to 18, 40-22. 5:15 left as Horsley, wing right side, gets to Kohler at midcourt. And then in turn to Monroe. A bounce pass down to Malone. Turn around. The first layup is good. I don't even know if he knew where the rim was whenever he threw it up, but he got the ball to fall. A lot of congestion at the foul line. And a reach in
number 22, Mason Horsley.
On Horsley. That's only the 5th team foul called on CBC. But it's Horsley's second. On the baseline, the drive again. Boy, Alford's just an athlete, isn't he? He can hit the three and he can soar through the air down in the paint. 13 for Alford. He averages 15 on the season. Steal by Stum. Up ahead, the jailbreak's on. But the jailbreak's broken up as Anthony Malone gets back on defense and strips it away from Lance Harris, who had an easy layup. 42-24, Patriots. As Harris off to Sims. Sims gets stood up by Monroe in the middle of the paint. Has to throw it off the left side, and it's out of bounds off of the Spartans. Patriots will trigger. They do so on their own baseline and get it into Sims. Now Offord, who had 7 points last night and is well past that tonight. He drives, left-hand floater, no good. It was tied up inside. I don't think the ball was ever actually secured by anybody. And the alternating possession will give it to Valley Forge. Well, now they change it and say CBC. Approaching the 4-minute mark, and CBC can't hang on to it. Taken away by Sims. 42-24. Elbow jumper from Harris is good. Well, it seems like Valley Forge, anything they shoot is going in tonight.
Just too many weapons right now for these Patriots against Central Bible College. Alford 14 points, Harris 8, Davis 7, and plenty of support beyond that for Valley Forge as they have a 20-point lead now here in the first half. Our game brought to you tonight on cbcag.edu by the Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth experience, an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world.
.351 left, and Valley Forge making a statement here early in the first half. If they can continue to do what they've been doing against CBC, playing good defense, getting back, forcing turnovers, and then I don't know exactly what the shooting numbers are, but quite obviously the Patriots making a ton of shots. Gajeski across the timeline, angling off to the right side. He's guarded by Sims out at mid-floor, and Sims stays right with him step for step. Another shot blocked inside, the third by Alford. Joey Kruder had no chance of getting that up to the rack as it was swatted away, and now Howard with a fadeaway jumper that's no good, but Alford tips it back in. Alford doing a little bit of everything, defensively, offensively. 14 for him tonight. Down to 3:05, a dribble drive, and a lay-in by Malone. Malone, the second guy off the bench on the season, averaging 6.5 points, as an illegal screen is called on Stum.
Caller number 5, Michael Stum. That's his first teammate.
So on the floor for the Spartans, it's Culler, Brown, Malone, Horsley, and Gajeski. For Valley Springs, Harris, Sims, Alford, Howard, and Stum. Jake Brown, wing right side. To Culler out of the ear of the Spartan logo at mid-floor. Taken away by Stum, and then Gajeski tries to take it right back, and a reach-in foul is called.
Foul number 20, Craig Gajeski, that's his second.
Gajeski with his second. A lead of 20 with 2:20 left first half. Harris, wing left. Sims was flashing across the top of the key, but he has to pass it back out to Alford at mid-floor. Alford drives in on Brown. Now to Harris. Harris met by a double team. He kicks it out to Stum. Down to 2:05 left. Shot clock down to 10. Firing away from 15 is Harris. He misses off the side of the cannon. It's grabbed by Malone, who will hand it to Gajeski to reset the offense and get the ball down the floor. Yo-yos with the right hand, passes down the right sideline over to Culler, who stands in the wing, guarded by Stung. Culler just barrels his way into the paint, kicks it out to Horsley. Long three from Horsley, no good. And Gajeski had the ball in his hand, and he was fouled by Steve Sims, his second. Ninth team foul, so that will put Gajeski at the stripe. Free throw wouldn't go for Gajeski on the front of two, or front end of 1-and-1 rather. And Lance Harris back to work for the Patriots. Lob to the big man inside, Howard. Good help defense again as cutting to the basket was Harris. And then after Horsley stole it away, Steve Sims now with his third foul.
So Sims out. Michael Ayala replaces him. The final 1:15 of the half, or will after his first free throw, with CBC in the double bonus now.
Horsley at the line shooting the bonus. First is good.
Now Ayala in, a freshman from Windsor, Connecticut.
There you see the sophomore out of Cincinnati drain one. It wouldn't be right for a CBC team to not have somebody from Cincinnati on it. Kirk Hansen, a diehard Cincinnati Reds fan from that area, a Bengals fan, if you can believe that. Shot from Harris, no good. Got his own rebound and tipped it back in. He's in the double digits with 10. 48-28, the lead is 20, down to 45 seconds left. 8-second differential between game and shot clock. As Malone, picked up by Howard, backs it back out to Gajeski. Shot clock is down to 12. The color screen, spot up three, splash. First field goal for Horsley, 6 in the game. Shot clock is dark, game clock down to 17. Harris looking for two trips out of this. The last shot of the half and the ball to start the second half, but it's stolen by Malone. At the buzzer, no. So we head to the half 48-30. CBC trails by 18 in the semifinal game against the number one team in the nation, Valley Forge. Quick look at scoring before we send it away for our halftime break. First for CBC, they're led by Terrence Culler with 13 points. Only 4 Spartans have scored. Joey Kruder with 8, Mason Horsley 6, and Tony Malone has 4. 7 players have gotten into the action for Valley Forge. 15 for Latrell Alford. Good first half for him. 10 points by Lance Harris. 7 for Donnell Davis. 6 points for Andre Howard. Steve Sims has 4. And Kevin Mack with 2 for the Patriots. 48-30 is our halftime score. We're going to step aside for a little while. When we come back, we'll have a closer look at the numbers and get the second half set up for you. In the second semifinal tonight, the final game before championship Saturday at Central Bible College. Shane Freeby, Don West courtside. We are going to again step aside and let you guys listen to Kirk Hansen and the CBC Spartans play some bells.
I got 16 for Alford. My points
48-30 our score as we get ready for second half action. Shane Freeby, Don West courtside at Central Bible College as the Patriots with an 18-point lead over the Spartans of CBC. And Don, I mentioned midway through that first half that they had to be shooting lights out, and indeed they are. If you shoot 68.8%, 22 of 32, you're going to win some games.
Wow, they missed 10 shots the whole first half and make 22 of 32, 3 of 4 from 3. Didn't shoot many free throws, made just 1 out of 3 from there. But Valley Forge dominating on the boards, 18-7. And just kind of running away with it in every aspect in the first half.
Shooting well, playing extremely good defense, forcing CBC into 10 turnovers. Valley Forge has scored 10 points off of those 10 turnovers. So CBC is going to have to find a way, some way, shape, or form to put some points on the board. It will be Valley Forge ball to start the second half. You've heard a host of voices over the last few days. Rob Evans, Don West, myself, and here to take you home on Friday night for the final half is Don West.
All right, Shane, we'll see how I'm doing at about 8 o'clock tomorrow evening when the 3-game day is over tomorrow and the championship is handed out. CBC shot 11 of 26 from the field in the first half for 42%, but they were 0 of 6 from 3, 8 of 11 at the free throw line. Spartans come up with a steal. Monroe looking, covered up hard by Kevin Mack, and he gets out of it with the up and under move. There is Terrence Culler with a score.
Now, Culler is just so good around the basket. Not only plays like that, getting able to hit a reverse layup, but he has such a quick spin move inside, and he can really pound away as Latrell Alford answers at the other end. He's got 17.
50-32. Valley Forge still a big lead, and now they get the steal. Here comes Stum. He'll get around Brown and score, and Brown fouls him on the way by.
Yeah, Brown going for the ball, but still ended up hitting Stum in the forehead as he drove in, got the easy deuce, and he will shoot his first free throw of the game. A very quiet first half for Stum, only 4 points for the kid that averages 16 a game.
And Stum can't convert the free throw, so it's still 52-32. Stum with 6 total in the game now. Monroe into forecourt for Central Bible College. Around to Monroe, 3 from the corner is down, and there's the first bucket of the evening for Isaiah Monroe.
Boy, very quiet. What a great addition he's been over the last couple of weeks.
Here comes Horsley now. After the steal, he stumbles in and misses. And there was Alford set up there, and he disrupted Horsley just enough to make him lose his footing. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with CBC.
Horsley was going in 1-on-2. He did not have the numbers and just got off balance and put up a poor shot.
Monroe working against Kevin Mack now. 52-35. Valley Forge with a lead. Here goes Monroe into a double team. He passes out of it underneath Brown, too far under the basket. It's going to come back out for another shot out of the corner this time for Horsley that won't go, and a foul on the rebound. That's on Kruder, his second.
Yeah, Kruder just, I think he got cut off balance as well whenever he started to go down. He took down the Valley Forge player with him.
So 2 minutes into the second half. Valley Forge working it down to Stum. Back through the lane and out. Harris back down. Back out on the arc again. Stum from the corner. 3 is too much. Air ball. And he'll hear about that now. Here's Monroe for Central Bible College. Down the lane, big crash, an offensive on Kruder. That'll be his third.
Yeah, that's the right call. Great job by Kevin Mack going and getting position way early. And a lot of times you'll see kids start to fall back and know the contact is coming and start their flop early. He just stood there and took the brunt of the hit whenever he came in. Patriots on the possession, down to Stum again. He'll go up and miss. It comes back to him.
Kicks it out. Around it goes to Harris for three. Will not go. Out of bounds. And Spartan ball.
We mentioned Rob Evans was here for day one and day two. He got a different assignment. He's up in St. Louis at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament with the Missouri State Lady Bears, who won today. They'll play tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon.
They barely won today over the 8 seed Bradley. Trailed for very much of the game and came back to take it away at the end. CBC with Monroe backing it out. He'll drift off to his left now and drive in and score. The lane just opened up for him there, and he took advantage.
Great take. He had the opportunity to pull up for a shot early, but decided to go ahead and maybe even draw some contact and get a three-point play out of it.
Settles for the 2, 15-point game, and Stum gets 2 back for the Patriots. Timeout for Kirk Hansen with 16:14 to go in the game. 54-37 the lead for Valley Forge. Our game brought to you by the Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world. For those of you watching in Pennsylvania and a fan of Valley Forge here, you may not be familiar with this guy, Kirk Hansen. 33rd year as the head coach of the Central Bible College Spartans. He has won 722 games in his career against 471 losses, a winning percentage of a little over 600. He is second in Missouri basketball history in wins at Missouri four-year colleges. You might think, well, Norm Stewart. Well, he's past Norm Stewart now, and he is trailing only Larry Holly, who is the longtime head coach at William Jewell University, which has recently moved from NAIA to NCAA Division II.
Inducted in the Missouri State Hall of Fame this past year, he went in with Forrest Arnold, who the gym is named after. Forrest was the coach before Kirk Hansen.
Inside, no basket for Malone, and a foul called against Kevin Mack. Arnold will be his third.
Arnold played down at the University of Memphis. His jersey retired there.
Inside, a miss for Color. Run down by Stum. And the Patriots go to work with a 17-point lead. Left side to Kevin Mack and down low. Taken away by Isaiah Monroe. He looks left to Joey Kruger. Cut off on the baseline by Harris, and he brings it back up front to Horsley. Knocked out by Lance Harris. Central Bible will inbound from the side.
And as we were talking about before the game, Kirk Hansen coaching his final 2 games this year, and next year will be the final go of it for the CBC Spartans. There are 3 different colleges here in Springfield: Evangel University, Central Bible College, and a theological college, that will all 3 be joining into one entity starting 13-14. So CBC's basketball program at that time will no longer exist, as they will give way to the Evangel Crusaders.
Here's a foul on Malone. I hadn't heard that had become 100% official, but that's what's going to happen down the road here for this school. A merger with Evangel University. The mission will change a bit, but not the cause. To the inside it goes. Up and under move, and a miss and a follow, and it still won't go for Alford. And Culler pulls it down. Now ahead. Malone can't get the finish. The other way. Sims with a great pass, and it goes to Alford for the deuce. 56-37. Patriots the comfortable lead with 14-18 still to go. Culler with a miss. Knocked out of bounds. And Patriot ball. Valley Forge by 19 with the ball. Now it's Sims looking inside, and there's a steal for Kruder. Look out, there's a tie-up. Held ball. Possession to the Spartans.
Am I just missing the first half box? I don't know what I did with it.
There's mine.
That'll work.
Andre Howard back into the game for the Patriots. They're going to wipe up the floor. Monroe to inbound. Comes into Malone, and he's fouled by Stum. Second foul on Michael Stum.
That's his second.
Second team foul of the half on Valley Forge. There goes Kruder to the hole, and he scores.
Well, great take, driving baseline, getting around one defender and soaring in from the short corner.
At the top, Donnell Davis. Pass to Harris, deep right wing. One hands it across to Davis. Baseline back out front for Harris. He'll float it up there and in. Patriots back up 19. CBC just with no real way to get consistent stops on the defensive end, and that's where it's got to start. And a violation here, what, double dribble? I was screened out. Double dribble, give it back to Valley Forge. Over the top, Davis. Comes off to Sims, and he'll bring it back out to the top. 2-3 zone defensive look from Central Bible College. Into the lane, and Howard lost it. Here comes Culler, up and off the mark, out of bounds. CBC ball. Latrell Alford back in. Game high 19 points for Alford as he returns. Into Culler, up and in. 17 now for Terrence Culler. Harris looking low. Double covered inside. Out to Davis for a three, no good. Followed up and in for Alford.
Starting to get for the CBC Spartans a little lackadaisical. He was not blocked out. Nobody picked him up, and the ball after the missed shot just fell into his hands.
Put up strong and a miss by Culler. It comes back to him, and it won't go down. Two shots instead for Culler. Foul to Andre Howard, his second. Culler for two shots.
And this has become kind of protocol for CBC. Whenever they're shooting free throws, you don't see any other black jerseys down there along the lane. They send everybody back. Try to alleviate the fast break points after missed shots on a free throw, and they have enough faith in their shooting as a team not to have anybody in.
60-43. the lead for Valley Forge. 3 from the corner, good for Donnell Davis.
Well, CBC going to a 2-3 zone, and you see the open shot there. That's one thing you can do to break up that